On December 11th, 1977, 12 people met in a small white-framed building for Rick Lemon's first Sunday at Forney Missionary Baptist Church. The next week, December 18th, he officially became Pastor Rick. In 1978, Howard and Maddie Conway, along with Rick's parents, JT and Anita Lemons, joined the church. Their families have served faithfully to this day. The first building expansion of the church began in 1980 with the addition of 6 needed classrooms. In 1981, Pastor Rick began attending Criswell College in Dallas. For many years, he pastored full-time and worked for a kitchen equipment business full-time while attending classes to attain his degree. Pastor Rick often worked 2 jobs to help offset the need for the church to pay his salary week to week. In 1983, the church hired its first staff member to help expand the ministry. In 1984, a new worship center was built with seating for 300. This building was later remodeled in 2007 to become the current student and children's ministry building. In 1988, the church undertook a renovation to create a much-needed fellowship hall. Tony Brown joined the staff in 1990 as the student and worship pastor. He would soon become one of Pastor Rick's closest friends. For the next 2 years, the church underwent several changes. A new educational building was constructed, and the children's ministry was expanded by adding an Awana program. Also, during this time, the church began the transition to a contemporary worship style, and a small group ministry was added. In 1996, the church celebrated its 40th anniversary of ministry in the community. But that fall, joy turned to sadness when Tony Brown was tragically killed in an auto accident just 1 month after his wedding. This became the most challenging time of ministry for Pastor Rick and Ann. In 2001, in order to better reflect the nature of the church it was becoming, the membership voted to change the name from Forney Missionary Baptist Church to Fellowship Baptist Church. Taking a step of faith, Fellowship began constructing our current $2.2 million worship building in 2002. It was also during this year that the church transitioned its leadership model to become elder-led. This expansion of leadership positioned the church for the dynamic growth of the next several years. In 2008, Lonesome Dove Baptist Church in South Lake, Texas, approached Pastor Rick about the possibility of Fellowship helping to revitalize their struggling church. Through a partnership with Fellowship, Lonesome Dove is now a growing and healthy church. In 2011, the church began setting aside money to be more proactive in missions, and in 2012 sent out its first Fellowship missionaries. To date, we have launched families to Honduras, Ecuador, North Africa, Lebanon, Estonia, and India, as well as supporting an Awana missionary in North Texas. Fellowship has also had the joy of building a home for at-risk girls in southern India. Last year, Pastor Rick and Ann celebrated 40 years of marriage and continue to set an example for married couples at Fellowship. God continues to be good. Over the past 17 years, Fellowship has baptized over 898 people and welcomed over 2,100 new members. Pastor Rick and Ann are still serving faithfully after 40 years of continuous ministry, an accomplishment rarely seen today. Please join us in honoring their 40 years here at Fellowship. Thank you, Pastor Rick and Ann.